Greetings, citizens! Last time in the Just Create SMP, we built a diorite and quartz factory in what ended up looking like a gingerbread house. Today we're going to be making a massive pumpkin collecting farm in order to build a haunted jack-o'-lantern with moving eyes. Let's do it! The base has been growing over time, but you may or may not have noticed, it's actually spooky season. Look at that over my shoulder, there's pumpkins right there. Ooh, multiple pumpkins, more over my shoulder. Anyway, the point of that is, there's nothing really spooky around the base. I haven't been to spawn in a while, I think there is some spooky stuff over there. I don't know if that's actually the direction to spawn, I think it might be. But I was thinking we could work on some spooky stuff today. And it will have create components. There's still a lot about the create mod that I just don't know or am not familiar with. Always more to learn, obviously, so I thought we could use it as a little bit of a challenge. What if I tried to make an enormous, animatronic pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern? I'd have to figure out some more components to be able to do that. But I'd also need materials, because while I could make it out of concrete and things like that, things that I'm sure are for sale back at spawn, I got it in my head somehow that I thought I should make the jack-o'-lantern out of pumpkins. Make the entire thing out of pumpkins. So because of that, we'll actually need to make a create auto farm for pumpkins. And if we go into FreeCam and just take a look at the area around here, like I said, there are pumpkins growing out in this direction, and there's also a big flat area. I was thinking, why don't we flatten this even more and make an automatic pumpkin farm? And then somewhere else, probably over here where there's a lot more space, we can make our giant animatronic jack-o'-lantern. And there's no time like the present. I've actually got my mining drill on me. So why don't we start by finding an area to flatten out and get right to work. Actually, right next to the pumpkins, this looks like a really good spot. Look at that, fairly flat. And if we go down 1 or 2 blocks, I think that would mainly be flat. A couple parts we'll have to fill in with dirt, but that won't be an issue. And because I want this to be pretty large, the jack-o'-lantern we're thinking about making, we need to get lots and lots of pumpkins. So there has to be a pretty large area where we're automatically collecting them and allowing us to do this. Wow, that looks kind of... we built that last episode. It looks kind of funny from a distance. Some of you said gingerbread house, and I agree with you. I said Willy Wonka type factory. Anyway, let's say this level right here. We're going to dig a swath straight through here. We're definitely going to time-lapse it because this will look really cool from the air or from the sky. And let's just go straight through. I have no idea how wide this needs to be. I just want lots and lots of space. Let's do it. I'm recording this right around Halloween, so I'm looking into any potential ancient Roman equivalents to the modern-day holiday. While the ancient Romans didn't have a festival exactly like modern Halloween, they did have festivals dedicated to honoring the dead and appeasing restless spirits. The one most often compared to Halloween is the Lemuria, or Lemuralia. More to come on this in a bit. Well, that didn't take long, but we do have a decision to make now. That's a lot of stone and things that we cannot plant pumpkins on. Do I go through and replace all of that with stone, or do I make an enormous, roller machine that will just do it automatically for me? And I can tell you I'm leaning towards the second option. Yeah, let's see, what would that take? It's 34 wide, but I don't have to do that. I could do it in 2 goes. I think I still have rollers from before. I might need a few more. Ah! I have my jetpack on. Hold on. There we go. Okay. I have 7 mechanical rollers. I probably want to make more than that. Ah, poo. I forgot they use electron tubes. And a crushing wheel. Those things are super expensive. Wow. Got some. Can make 5 more. And then I'd be able to do it in 3 goes, I think. That probably is fine. Yeah, I think let's do that. We'll make 5 more. 12 total. We'll get ourselves a new furnace minecart to get a new contraption going. Our Roman glue, of course. That should be all we need. Also, fortunately, we just picked up a ton of dirt, so I don't think we would run out, which is good news. Okay, so if we want to build a new contraption, get our cart assembler put down with a furnace minecart, just a structural block or 2 like that. Really simple machine. We're just kind of making a line of these. And then chests on the back for whatever we're putting down. Get all of that glued together. That should do it. And then we just want to check. We've got clear blocks and pave, straight fill below, slope fill below. I think clear blocks and pave is what we want. And then we put dirt in there to filter. They're all going to lay dirt. Finally, we grab our mining drill and move all of the dirt that we have here into these chests. Oh, and I forgot, we're also going to want to put some charcoal and some rail in there to get it started. There's so much dirt. So we can fill all the chests on the right and this much of this chest. So we've got 2 empty. I think that'll be plenty. So now that we've got that moved over, I just need to turn this into a contraption. So we'll lock rotation, do that, see if we can pick everything up. Do we get it all? Yep. Now if I want it at this level, I think we're going to want to place it up here. So I'll just do something like that. If I place you there, should line up. Yes, it does. And then, actually, should I have done fill instead? Because I might have wanted fill. Because let's check. I don't know that this will replace air blocks with dirt. Oh, we'll find out. Oh, I forgot the deployer. You didn't remind me, citizen. This is on you. I still want to test it. Let's just do this. Lay down some track. We'll get a deployer after this. We'll fix it. All right. Do you work if we do that? Oh, there it goes. Yep. It works. I just need a deployer. Okay, I'm done. This is known. Put it back down. Go get a stinking deployer. I'm not going to have one, and I don't have any electron tubes. Just watch. Yeah, I don't have one. Need an electron tube. Gotta get one of those. Give me a minute. I need to head back to the workshop. Just a quick little detour. Need to smoosh some brass, make some more rose quartz, and I know I actually had this automated before, but then I turned it into something else. I know somebody else must have this automated, but I don't need that many. This will work just fine. Get some more electron tubes, get ourselves a brass hand. I need andesite. There we go. Then we can... Oh, casing. It's always going to be something. Get a deployer. Everybody happy. We head back. Okay, that's weird. My power turned off. Didn't I literally just say it's always something? What? No, it's running in here. What's wrong? It's not overstressed. What happened? Why is my storage not running? Ooh, we have some sort of glitch here. You see that? One chain heading over here and it's not running the other side? Alright, what happened? What's going on here? Is it as simple as just taking you out? Where'd the chain go? Oh, I've got it. Putting you back in and connecting it back up. Can connect. Okay, yeah. I don't know what happened there. Something was unhappy, but it looks good now. Okay, back to the task at hand. I think I will need... Well, I'm gonna say we might need to replace something here, but maybe not. Might just be able to get rid of that one down there. Put this back. And then put the deployer on top of this. I think that should work. Because it can go through that block and then place rail beneath it. That's the way I'm thinking of it anyway. There's an easy way to find out. So now that should place rail. We should have this place in the dirt first, so it'll be able to place the rail on top of that. Yeah, I think that'll work. And we do have... Oh, I just realized we forgot something else. The plow behind it. I'm gonna do that every single time. I forget it every time. Every single time. Mechanical plow. Put it right here at the back so it can pick up any of the rail that gets put down. Glue that to the rest of it. Please let that be the last thing. Please make it so I didn't forget anything else. Okay, everything's set. Dirt there, deployer, plow. Please work. Okay, it's picking it up. That's what we wanted. Is it putting rail down? It seems like it must be, because otherwise, what would it be riding on? You can't really see what's happening down there, but yeah, no. Okay, I think we're good. Ooh, boy. That should have been simpler. So we'll get that to put everything down over this. I'm not super worried about filling in those areas. That should be fine. And then we just do it a couple times. Everybody happy. Oh, that looks so much better. Look at all that room. We're going to use all of it? I don't know. Well, I'm going to do a kind of count here. Let's check the coordinates over on this side. Around negative 650. Then if we go to that side, negative 550 is right here, pretty close. We could probably do a row of 100 pumpkins several times. Yes, of course I need that many pumpkins. Don't be ridiculous. And we're going to need a lot of seeds to start, so yeah, let's start collecting. Do I have bone meal? Do I have easy bone meal anywhere? That's probably also going to be a must. Either that or lots of AFK. Either way, I need to go do a reset on my inventory, get lots of pumpkin seeds. We'll need some water, some slabs. Yeah, lots of stuff. Do I have a netherite hoe? I don't think I do. I mean, I could also just use a plow, like create intended. Sometimes I like the manual work, though. What can I say? No, not in real life. Don't be crazy. Anyway, yeah, I'll do an inventory reset. I'll let you know when we're all set. Set. Okay, I'm not thinking ahead about this, which is probably not a good idea. But this is about the center line. It's an even number, so these two are the center. And it turns out we are going to actually have to dig channels in this anyway, so some of this was a waste. I probably should have just left those rollers off, but once again, we're not really thinking ahead too far. Let's just say I did that, 100 down this way. We could probably do water channel tilled dirt to plant the pumpkins, space for the pumpkins to grow, and repeat. And that's why I have this. We're just going to make ourselves tons of iron hose because, kind of strangely, I'm too lazy to build a machine to do this for me, but not so lazy that I don't mind doing it manually. I don't know. Doesn't make much sense. So if that was the case, how many rows would we get if we did water channel? And actually, we wouldn't need that many water channels, right? Because it would reach 4. So till dirt, pumpkin, till dirt, pumpkin, water channel. If we had it like that, going all the way down, actually we could probably fit one more over here. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then if we have it 100 long, we could have 1,000 pumpkins going at once. Is my math right on that? That's a lot of pumpkins. Go big or go home. Okay, let's do this. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I know. I didn't light it up down there. Should I have? No, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, this is going to be kind of annoying, though. Just don't fall in. Everything's good. I'm realizing I probably could have done even fewer water channels. Like, I wouldn't need this middle one. I could have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and dug one here, but I've already started digging these, so it will be slightly inefficient. And I think it's safest to blame you for this. I don't make mistakes, so, I mean, who else could it have been? Don't worry, I forgive you. You're only human making these slip-ups. There we go. So if we have a look at that, that is a lot of water channels. Wow. Okay, so we just have to fill in these couple spots at the bottom and then fill it all with water. I can't explain it, but there's something exciting about this. There's no way this is going to be long-term useful. I'm never going to need this many pumpkins, like, ever again. Probably not even going to need one full harvest of this, so wildly impractical. And yet, I'm excited. All that is now filled in. We can move on to our water. Once again, should be pretty easy. Last little bit here, and then we're good to go. There it is. And I'm kind of undecided. I did bring all of this oak wood because I was thinking I could put it into slabs and then cover all of this just so we didn't have to mess with this whole thing where you're going over it. But honestly, I don't know if it's necessary. More so in farms like typical, the 9x9 plots, but this, probably not. Which means we just see how many iron hose this is going to take. I've got 4. I think it's going to be much more than that, personally. But what's your guess? How many am I going to go through doing essentially 1,000 plots? Well, let's go. That's the first time I counted. It's actually 101. No, not Dalmatians. Pumpkin plots. There we go. This is easier. And actually, I might be wrong. I didn't even break one iron hoe doing that. Nearly, but I didn't. It's gonna be close. This is the 4th hoe. Last row. Well, on the other side of the water is the last row. Oh no, is it gonna make it? Oh no! Oh, that was what we had left. I was so close. Ah, well. 1, 2, 3, 4... 12 shy. Oh, that is just, that's painful. But it is all done, which means we are to the kind of tedious part. We need to plant every plot with a pumpkin seed, and that's beginning with, I shall remind you, about a stack and 12. And we need 1,000. So I'm going to be at this for a bit. I'll let you know as we make progress, but yeah, we're going to have to basically wait for these to grow, or go find a ton of bone meal. But either way, I've got some waiting to do, so I'll get the entire thing filled, and then we can start thinking about the create components that are going to automate getting all of these collected for us. See you in a few. The purpose of Lemuralia was to exorcise the Lemures, which were restless, often malevolent, spirits or ghosts of the dead, especially those who died prematurely or violently. Much of this may sound familiar, as similar customs existed throughout other cultures in history. We now officially have everything planted and everything's looking good over here, which means it's time to set up the automated portion of this, and I do have an idea. I think this should be fairly straightforward. The setup will be very similar to... This was a while ago, but when I did my first Create series, we had a tree farm, and I created an auto harvester for that. This is going to be very similar. I went through and collected what I think we're going to need for this. Hopefully this time I actually remembered most of the things that we're going to need. But once again, should be fairly straightforward. Essentially, we're going to have a rail that leads all the way along down this row. We'll then have a minecart running back and forth on powered rail, and across this way we're just going to have a row of mechanical saws going down and harvesting all of the pumpkins, storing them in the contraption, and then we'll make some sort of storage interface on this side that's going to be able to collect all the pumpkins for us. So first off, let's just spread some powered rail throughout here so it doesn't really slow down ever. There we go, and then we'll just fill in between all of these with the regular rail, and I'll also bring these redstone torches so we can power everything that we just put down there. I think keeping it powered constantly is fine for our purposes. or porpoises. And then we won't power the one at the end here yet because we actually have to build this thing. And in fact, I think we'll build it a few further back just so we don't have to worry about interfering with this one, so I will power it. That way we can do this here, put down our minecart, and then build what we need. We'll want one of our storage interfaces out here so that we can have some area, probably actually right down here, that's going to be collecting everything for us. And then actually we could probably go straight across, and then anywhere that we're going to have a saw, I'm just going to put a barrel just so we have a little bit of storage on the contraption itself. There we go. And then I forget, can I just put these down like this? Yeah, I can. I was wondering if I would need a block behind here, but I think this will work fine. Because then these should all line up with exactly where the pumpkins are, but it shouldn't hit the stems because obviously we don't want to disrupt those. There we go. That's the bulk of it right there. Now on this side, I'm hoping this will actually pause to drop things off. I might have to alter this powered rail because I want to make sure that when it gets here to the storage interface, it'll take a pause before it continues on its merry way. And for now, pretty simple. We could just put a chest down here to be collected in. And then of course, we need to get everything glued together. Might have to take it in a couple goes. Yeah, it won't make the whole way. We'll do that. Get the rest of it. Get all of these saws attached. And that, I think, should be it. Can I pick all of that up? No, wait, I need to do this, obviously. Turn it into a contraption. Get this shortened again. Cover that up. One more look. I think we're solid. I can't imagine what could go wrong, but that's usually the thing that would go wrong. Because this might just take off if I put it down. I'm a little bit worried. This took a long time to, get it all planted. And I don't want anything to go wrong, but we have to do a test. So I'm going to put this here, and it takes off. We've already started taking out some of the pumpkins. So that's good. That's what we expected. If we take a look, those are all getting sawed down. They should be collected in one of the barrels. I don't know which, but it'll collect them. And then the part that I'm not sure about is when it finishes all of this, will it stop to drop them off, or do we have to change something here? Another note on this, I know that I could put more saws backwards on the end of these so that when it comes back in the other direction, it could also collect. But I'm not too worried about that. It'll just continue to go back, and when they go this way, it'll collect. Because it's a contraption, if it's like these that are growing back, it'll just, it'll pass through them, and it shouldn't cause us any issues. So let's wait over here for when it's done and just check to see if this system works, because currently it's empty. We should get everything in that chest. If it pauses long enough to drop it off, that is the part I'm unsure about. Oh no, it's turned into a ghost contraption. It's there, but not there. You can see that it is there. And we're getting to the end just by the spooky, haunted, disappearing pumpkins. Okay, here we go. That's the end. It should turn around and come back. Pretty please. Okay, good. It's coming back. Passing through the pumpkins, just like we said. No issue there. Please stop to drop everything off when you get here. Pretty please. Stop right there. Oop. Oh, good. Good. It's working. Look at that. Wow. Look at how many pumpkins are coming through. Yes, it works. No problem. I wasn't worried. Why were you worried, citizen? I knew this would work. Awesome. Well, I mean, I say we just give it a little bit then. That was already, granted, that was a lot that had been growing, so I'm comfortable pretty much filling up the whole chest. None of these are actually full grown yet. So I think I'll let all of those grow and just see what kind of output we're getting on this. Definitely going to be more pumpkins than we need, but I'm sure we'll find something to do with them. Awesome. So we'll let that run for a while. I'll go into my little AFK hut that I was using in here, and we'll just let it collect, let those stems grow. Then after a while, we'll check back in. See you then. It's been a bit after waiting, and it looks like, actually, pretty much all, well, I could see a couple stems that still need a bit of work, but I think pretty much everything has grown. Let's see what we're looking like in here. Oh yeah, that looks much better. Which I suppose means we can do another inventory reset and just get a bunch of these and start seeing about making a giant jack-o'-lantern, which, by the way, I have no idea how to do. There's going to be a lot of trial and error, but that's never stopped us before. I guess before we do anything, we need to pick a spot for this thing, and I don't want it like right on top of the base area here, because shortly it's not going to be spooky time anymore, so I don't want it to be a central aspect. And looking at the map, probably makes sense to have it nearby the pumpkin farm. Kind of right here, that area we flew over might not be bad. Right over here somewhere. Could even do right on top of this, right by the llama. Giant pumpkin for the llama. So maybe we flatten this area out, and then honestly, probably just kinda wing it. What? How dare you? Of course I know what I'm doing. Kinda, maybe. If we just do something like that, take another look. Yeah, we'll clear this out and then do another one over here. I want to keep this interesting looking hill, but I think everything from like this point on right here, which means you might want to move, buddy. You need some help getting out of there? Hey, come here. No, come here. You hang out over there, where it's relatively safe. And I shall flatten this hill. There we go, get moving. Such a simple thing in Create, but there's probably nothing I love more than a really good mining drill. Is this gonna be enough space? I mean, we gotta make it big, right? What was the point of getting all those pumpkins if we don't make it quite large? Now let's just round this out a little bit so it looks more natural. There we are. Now, once again, is this enough space? I might want to take another layer or two off of this. We're doing a bit more. Uh-oh, chicken. You might want to move, like, literally just 1 or 2 blocks and you'll be fine. Oh, he listened. I cannot believe a chicken actually listened. That, I'm hoping, is enough room. And thinking about where we are, because that's the base, we should probably face the face of the jack-o'-lantern, maybe pointing in that direction, so if we look from the base, we'll be able to see it. And it's also facing the pumpkin farm. That'll probably work best, which means, yeah, from basically here to here, maybe a little smaller, but it should be fairly large then. All right, let's drop this off. We'll grab some pumpkins and see what we can come up with. Lemuralia was held on May 9th, 11th, and 13th, and involved a peculiar ritual. The head of the household, or paterfamilias, would perform rites at midnight, walking barefoot, throwing black beans over his shoulder as offerings or distractions for the hungry spirits, and clashing bronze pots to scare the spirits away, all while reciting an incantation. Have you ever carved a pumpkin and then left it outside for a little bit too long, and maybe there were a couple hot days, and, you know, it just starts to get that look? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from this. Obviously, did not follow a tutorial, just kind of winging it, and I'm still finding things that are inconsistent. I did not follow a pattern. Once again, I hear you. Yeah, clearly, Legion. But I don't know, I could have followed a tutorial and probably got something a little bit more symmetrical, a little bit more the right shape, but every once in a while I just kind of want to give it a shot and see what happens. It could definitely be worse. Hey, no comments from you. But just speaking generally, as far as the shape goes, it's not... It could be worse. I've said it. We still need to get a stem on the top and then think about what parts we might want to make, you know, moving parts. So I'll gather some stuff that we can use on the top for a stem. Also, in case you're curious, this is the second time I had to fill my inventory, so like an inventory and a half-ish of pumpkins. Also, there's a lot I didn't bother picking up, so, you know, good that we had unlimited amount. But yeah, I will figure out the stem, and then we'll start thinking about what we want to do for moving parts, but obviously we need to light up the inside. Maybe we could do something with like closing eyes or a moving mouth. Not quite sure yet, but that's fine because we've got to work out the stem anyway. I was thinking about it some more, and there's a couple things we could probably use for detailing on the pumpkin. And one of those, of course, will be the stem. But also, maybe it's not a bad idea to get some copycat stairs, just so we can round off some areas but still use the pumpkin texture. And also some logs, some trapdoors, some leaves. And yeah, I do have some diamonds on me. I just grabbed magma blocks as well. But I think I'm going to go shopping, because I would like a bit of concrete. We've also got the Diomat, utility at its finest. That's for dyeing anything, though. Pretty sure I can just straight up buy concrete somewhere. Also, hello Orb Baron. I love your name, by the way. I've got a bit of experience left, right? Oh yeah, I've still got a full stack. I was just worried about my my elytra. Oh no, thank you, Orb Baron. I'm all good. I've got what I need here. There we go. Good day, sir. Yeah, this is what I was thinking of. Black concrete powder. I don't think I'll need a ton. Maybe 4 stacks. Does that seem right? There you are, Jeb. Okay, we've got that. Out of curiosity. Yeah, bulk washing. Okay. That'll be easier than doing it manually. And then is there anything else that we need while we're here? Ooh, copper stuff. I think I'm good at the moment with this. Oh my god. Yeah, we saw this from a distance before. Oh, I kind of hate it. I love it. It's great. Kind of hate it. It's one too spooky for me. Look at that. It looks like you're descending into madness. Oh my goodness. I can't. You have to actually like parkour to get over here. Oh, wow. And then, yeah, you descend. I'm not going to do this alone. Wow, I'm going to throw up. If ever anybody, decides we're going to have a day of mini games or something, I'll join for this. But, whoo boy, wow, that is so nuts. Hey, throw the looking glass. That is clever. Like it. Do we need glass? I don't think so. We're going to leave it for now, but good to know that's there. Oh, and also, we were looking at this wood shop last time. Stam saw attractive wood, and then a few of you mentioned to me that I had missed there was another shop over here. Not this one, this is the frog lights, which actually, Do I need some frog lights? I might grab a few extra of these as well. There you go, buddy. But somewhere around here, you were all telling me there's also Arborista. Is this it? Yeah, a place that sells leaves, because we were looking for this as well. Actually, do we have... Yeah, pale oak. I don't see any saplings, but I kind of want some pale oak that I could plant. So maybe if we just get some of the leaves, we hope that they drop a few. There you are, Dalian. Pick up. There it is. Gotcha. Alright, that should be all we need for now. I'm sure we'll be back if we end up needing more. And before we leave, we should... Where is it? Right here. We should wash all the black concrete powder. And actually, that's going to go straight through, isn't it? Or no, it's not going to go anywhere, because I think it's not on the filter list. I can just grab it off once it's done. I think it's all done. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're good. Alright, we are back. And I'm wondering, now that I've got these stairs... The only reason I thought about that was just to round off some of these kind of harsher angles. So, for example... Ooh, I forgot to light it up in there. Hey, friends. Yeah, let's not go in there. But this kind of thing, like that, where it keeps the texture, but it rounds it off nicely. That, yeah, that's better. Can you not? Yeah, you guys can't get me, right? Well, this is super annoying. You just, yeah. No. Where's my bow? Yep, my mistake. I didn't light it up. That's on me. I get it. They're just helping. They're trying to make it spookier in there for me. And while I appreciate the sentiment, I don't really need it. So I think maybe we'll light it up in here now. Unintentional mob farm. There we go. Okay. Anyway, a little bit more rounding off. There we go. And then you may have guessed, but... the black concrete I was going to put over the mouth and the eyes just so we have something to contrast it with if we're going to light them up. The only problem is I don't know how much of the inside is going to be create components for movement. And also I need some depth here, so maybe 3 back? I have a feeling we're going to have to open this back up, or actually we could probably just put a door in the back or something so I don't have to worry about that. Then we cover it up. There we go. Dig our way out the back and then have a look at that. Yeah, that works much better. Now, as an example, if I've got a few things that give off light, what could we do here? Maybe a couple of these in the back, then a frog light at the front, just to kind of simulate an eye a little bit. Looks a little bit goofy, but I was kind of hoping for that with the pumpkin, actually. I wanted it to look a little goofy. And it certainly does that, but I put it back there because I also want space if we're going to put something in front here for, like, blinking eyes. We have that space, which might be difficult now that I'm thinking it through, because it would have to be a contraption or something. And if it was coming in from up here, there's not room for that. They might have to blink from the sides or from the bottom. I'm not quite sure about that. We'll have to think it through, but also we wanted to do the stem. And I forgot about the pale oak. We gotta see if we can get some of that. So for the stem, if we go up here, and actually, don't pumpkins at the top kind of like dip down? They've got a little divot here. So we can just take the middle down a level here, and that's where we can put the stem. And how do we want to do this? I'm thinking it should probably go up a bit, and then like the little thing where it curves off to the right or one of the sides. No idea how this is going to look until we take a step back, and I'm a little bit worried about that. Okay, hold on. Let's have a quick... that's not actually too bad. I was thinking it would look much worse the first attempt. I do think it's a little too high. Maybe at this level, more off to the side like this. To actually get these stairs back, because where some of these go like that, I think I want it like that instead. Looks a little bit strange, but that's actually better. We want one here as well. Boop. There we go. It's starting to look like something. And then we brought the leaves just for a couple of these all around this way. Maybe something like this, like a few are hanging off of the end of it. Yep. Also, out of curiosity, please don't blow up my computer. How does it look with shaders? Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, the setting sun has it quite vibrant, but look at that. Wow. Coming along. Actually, if I'm not at spawn, shaders aren't too bad. They don't really do much to my my computer, which is nice. Also, we are going to break these and see if we can get any saplings. Because don't you need 4 for these? Kind of like Dark Oak itself. Hold on, do I have Fortune? Does that work? Did I just get one? Yeah, 1. Half a stack, I got 3. I want to be able to at least plant 1 tree. I wanted some stuff around the pumpkin too, and I just thought a pale oak tree would look nice. 7. Just shy of 2 trees. We might have to maybe knock down the initial one. Probably need to replace all of this stone as well. For now, let's plant one over here. There we go, see if that grows. The area right in front of it, I want to replace some of this with magma blocks. Give it sort of a subtle glow at the front. And then one thing I kind of forgot about, I was going to look into if I had any dripstone, because I thought I could put that inside the mouth as teeth. And I didn't check, although he does look kind of nice and goobery without that. Actually, something else we could do that might be better for the space that we have is moving eyes. So what if we got the frog lights and they like looked from side to side? That might be better with the space that we have. Okay, that might be another plan to use. And then teeth that could come in and out. I think I'm going to replace a lot of the ground around here, and I'll think about that as I do it. I'm going to grab some deep slate or something that I can put in the ground there, just make it a little bit darker. Oh man, the power stopped again. There's some sort of chunk issue, it seems like. Chunk border screwing something up. Also, I realized earlier I disconnected those ones, but I don't think they actually do anything. I don't think they're connected to anything down there, right? Yeah, I don't know. Super annoying though, that it keeps disconnecting. I actually have more blackstone than I do deep slate. That might look nice. We'll get rid of a bit of this, just a couple blocks around, almost as if the pumpkin is just affecting the ground somehow. Get some of this put in, and then netherrack a little bit closer to the magma blocks. While I'm working on this ground, just a little quick sort of unrelated aside. I've recently been switching up the YouTube videos that I've been watching to fall asleep at night, and recently, I don't know how, they just came up in the algorithm. I was watching a couple just long, like hour-and-a-half long retrospectives about, for example, like Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. And I haven't played those games in forever. I should really go back and replay them, but just kind of fun. Things that I played when I was younger, remembering all about all of that, parts that I completely forgot about. But really cool videos. Okay, there we go. That's looking much spookier. I do want to grow some more trees around here. We should probably get some bone meal to make the ground look a little bit more interesting. In fact, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to do that. Get a couple of these things here. We don't want flowers, just the grass. Can I bone meal this? No. Why did I think you could bone meal netherrack? I think I'm thinking of the nether wart blocks, probably. The other red one and the greenish one. I also got some vines. That might be kind of neat if we just threw maybe one up here, each of the sides, just so those grow over some of this stuff. Up here would make sense. Get some soul campfires in. I don't know why, but I think having some chains hanging at random positions would also be a good idea. Couple iron bars just for a little detail. And that is all really coming together, which means it might be time to start thinking about this. And as an example, oh no, I can't fit in there now. There we go. It wouldn't be both in the middle. We'd probably have one like over there. Ow. So they'll be looking that direction, and then I'd have something that shifts them so they're looking that direction over here. How would we do that? I have no idea. I've never used a pulse timer. That might be, ooh, kind of expensive, but that might be the kind of thing we would need. Repeatedly emit short pulses. You could change the interval, because I wouldn't want them to constantly be going bum, 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 going back and forth. If there was a timer and a way to make them shift, that would probably be the thing we'd want. Maybe if we glued them together to a block behind the magma blocks, and then that block was pushed by pistons at the interval we were looking at. We might have to do some testing with this. I might have amethyst back at the other storage, but I don't think I have any here. Nope. I think there's a geode near our mine maybe over here, assuming that our elevator just didn't disappear again. You still there? Let's find out. Hey, elevator's still here. Yeah, let's head down to the mine. I think there might be a geode down here. Ooh, not the geode yet, but we were just talking about some of this. Yeah, I will definitely take some in case we decide to use it. Boop, boop, boop. Not the friendliest area in the world. We've been spotted. No, 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 no. No free hugs. Not interested. Beat it. Nope. Get... Ugh. Anyway, I just had the genius idea to look at my mini-map, and I see 2 geodes right nearby. Hey, there we go. Grab a bit of everything. We'll get some of the clusters, which pickaxes, get some of the shards, in case we need more in the future. You never know. Okay, mission success. Wow, we got a lot of that. I wasn't intending on getting that much. I guess fortune helped there. There we go, 1 pulse timer. And then we'll probably want a sticky... Wait, which one? Sticky piston or mechanical sticky piston? So if we use this, because I did want to push them 2 blocks distant, the other one would only go 1 block, right? So if we used this on a clutch, we could just switch the way that it's moving with a water wheel, and it'll move its eyes. Am I thinking about that right? This calls for a test. Get one of the mechanical pistons, and then we can use that to get ourselves a sticky mechanical piston. And wait, actually, I think I'm not thinking of a clutch. That's not the thing, right? Controlling rotational force, straight line. Yeah, that turns it off. How do I reverse the way that it goes? Gear shift? Is that what I'm thinking about? Rotation in a straight line. Swaps the, yeah, redstone reverses it. That's what I'm thinking about. Okay, easy enough to make. Now, before we go nuts and do this somewhere else, let's just do a test in here, or somewhere there's power. Aha, power. So we want power coming off of here, a gear shift attached to that, our pulse timer, which cannot be on that for some reason. There we go. 20 ticks. We want, how about every 5 seconds? It looks from side to side. Let's just check if that does anything. Kinda hard to tell, but if the seconds go by and it does something, I don't see it changing. Oh, it does a pulse every 5 seconds. That's not gonna work. There's also a sequenced gear shift, and that, right-click on the configuration UI, this might be the thing. Start running its configured sequence. Once finished, it waits for the next signal. That might be what we're looking for here. How do I make one of those? Okay, hold on. Electron tube, cogwheel, brass casing, sequenced gear shift. That might be the ticket. So if we put that up here, then sequence gear shift, turn by angle, turn to move piston pulley gantry, time delay, await new redstone pulse. Okay. No, I don't think this is it either. I just want it to, I'm confusing myself again. In the latest episode of trying another thing that I think is what I need, but probably isn't, what about a pulse extender? I might have gotten it wrong with the pulse timer, because like it sounds like it actually extends the pulse for a certain amount of time, which I think is what we're looking for. So I'm gonna try one of these. Surely this time it'll work. There we go, one pulse extender. And this time, release right button, let's just say 3 seconds on this. But actually, we would have needed both, I think. Because this doesn't actually create a pulse, it just extends it. So if we want it to last for 3 seconds, we do that. We put this here, it's ticking, and then that, yeah, hold on, we need to configure both. This one I want to do for then 6 seconds, I think. 3 seconds, that should turn off, and then swap the rotation, which I think it just did. Then the next time this pulses, it'll turn it back on, swap the rotation, then it should bring it back. I think we've got it. I think this is what we wanted. So now, if we put our piston on here and swap that, then we put a couple piston extenders out the back. Hey, there we go. So it stays out this way, and then when it brings it back the other way, that's exactly what I was looking for. We did it! That's satisfying. I'm sure for people familiar with Create, this is either not efficient or super easy and somebody would have known right away, but it's exciting if you're not too familiar and you get something working. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to move this and I'm going to completely forget how everything was set up. But that's also part of the fun, right? Okay, so let's get all of this and bring it over to our jack-o'-lantern. And then we're going to have to temporarily open this back up so that we can set up all of this business. Just make a little working platform back here that you're never going to see. And then let's just double check. I think this is the position we want the eyes in to start. Might be too far over on the left there. But no, I do want them to move 2 blocks. I think 1 won't be quite enough, so I think that's fine. Yeah, never mind. Okay, now this is the part I'm not quite sure about, because if we're gluing all of this together, I'm gonna try to put, because will it be a contraption? I don't know. Let's just try this. So sticky piston needs to be here, facing the other way. I forgot about power. We need to get power in here, but that should work. Let's glue all of that together. So we want you attached so that it all moves as one. Oh, wait a minute. No. This isn't supposed to be here. It should be over on this side, right there, so that it could push it that way. Yeah, that's right. We want it to go 2 pole lengths across, basically 2 blocks. This is where the power is coming from. Whoa. Watch it, Legion. I'm good. That was where we had the gear shift. We'll need power over here on this side. We can have our little thing set up. Pulse timer, pulse... Nope, other way. Pulse extender, pulse timer, a little bit of redstone. 3 seconds on the extender, 6 seconds on the interval for the timer. And then we just need power, and that should be it. Yeah, we're just going to set up a little bit of water power in here. Do a small water wheel, then a large water wheel. I do not know if that's going to fit. It looks kind of wild in here, but it should work. That might not work, actually. Hold on. So if I put water there and over here, I think that'll give us what we need. And look at that. I've got 2 water bottles. Almost like I knew somehow. So water up here. Please don't go everywhere. I just said please don't go anywhere. Or everywhere, rather. Okay, how about that? Is that enough room that I've opened it up down there? No, it's gonna go over the top again. What's that all about? I want you to go the other direction. That way. There we go. Then this way? Nope, no, 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 no. What a nightmare. Okay. There we go. A little bit faster. Good. It's not falling out. I haven't even been watching. Okay, now they move slowly. That's kind of what I was hoping for. And then by the time... No, ooh, that's not good. It just kind of swaps back. Can we change that? Always place one stop. Place only in starting position. Place only when anchor destroyed. That's not very helpful. I think maybe it just needs to be longer or the power needs to go faster. Let's try making this one 6 seconds and this one 12. Let's see what happens. Okay, now it should make it all the way across, but then is it just gonna, like, shoot back again? Or, that's kind of weird. Goes all the way out this way, and then... Is it turning around? Yeah, it is. Okay, how does this look from out here? Eyes off to one side, and then they start moving. Ooh, spooky, it's alive. And then they come back kind of fast, but I guess I don't mind that. There we go. So I think it's 8 seconds. That's how it takes to get across. Make that a little bit better to 16. Then it goes all the way to that side, stops for a minute, and then it slowly comes back. Okay, so it just has to make it all the way across, and it looks like that's about 8 seconds. There we go. Nice. Okay, so now I just need to fill this back in, right? Please tell me I can put things here and not get it all... Ooh, no, it doesn't like that. That is not good. Let's get that out of the way. Then when it tries to come back, is that going to stop it from going anywhere? Yes it is. Okay, I thought it would act more like a contraption. I guess not. Well, that's not good. That means I can't fill that in unless I put it behind it. Because it's going to look silly if you can see everything behind there. Oh, hey, this grew. Nice. I could at least I could glue some extra ones in here and on that side. It's this left side that's going to be the problem. Unless, maybe not. I can glue some that'll go into the wall there. No, this should be fine, actually. Aha! Accidental victory. Let's just pause this for a minute. Wait till it gets back. And pause. We want some in here. Oh, hold on. Place only in starting position? Sure. I'll change that back in a minute. We want those there. I am going to glue those in place. Then we want 1, 2 on this side, also glued in. Then get rid of that one there with 2 more here, also glued in place. Finish up by putting these here. Have a look. That should all be covered now. It is. Get this started back up. Head outside. And now we shouldn't be able to see anything as it moves. So let's just double check that. Looking one direction, it starts moving. The magma blocks moving too is a little bit strange, but I am willing to deal with that because I'm very proud of getting this far. Looks over to that side, and then it starts looking back. Okay, we got it. Beautiful. Okay, so that is working. Now, before I forget, I also want to see what it would look like if we got some of these pointed dripstone down at the teeth area. Jump up in here, get some small ones, a little bit longer, not like that. Right there. Ooh, that adds a lot of creepiness, actually. Wow. Could even connect up the teeth like that. We could add some more in the back, like it has multiple rows. How's that? Ooh, wow. That just made it so sinister. It looked a little bit jolly and, like, derpy before. Now it looks sinister. Yikes. Well, I mean, it works. Hold on, it's going tonight. Let's do the shaders. Whoa. No way. That looks so good. Oh man, that just, yeah, that adds so much. Look at that. With the moon rising back there too. That really had it all come together. That looks really good. I love it. The eyes slowly moving too, looking at you. Wow. You can tell I'm very pleased with myself. Well, I'm just gonna sit and enjoy this for a minute. I do really appreciate that when you work on something and you're unsure of it pretty much the entire time and then suddenly it all comes together. Alright, so I'm happy with this. I did just get one more idea since we have, like, so many pumpkins over here. Never gonna need this many. It's gonna continue to make more for me. And I just thought you can also make them into jack-o'-lanterns. Is there a way to more easily make these? Ooh, am I really gonna have to manually shear all of these? I thought there would be a create way to do that. I do want a lot of jack-o'-lanterns though. So if we get some shears, got an open area over here, so yeah, this will not be as easy as I thought it would be. I am really surprised there's not a create way to do this. Never mind, that's okay. We'll just put everything out here. There we go. How long will these last? Because if I go through every last one of these. Does anybody need pumpkin seeds? Actually, they're lasting longer than I thought they would. I brought a stack of iron because I really thought this was like gonna break every row or something. They just seemed like shears do not last long at all. This almost got me all the way though. Look at that. Ooh, look at all those pumpkin seeds. Goodness. There we go. Yeah, we weren't joking. Anybody need pumpkin seeds? We got them. All right, now pick them all back up. At least this is insta-break. That is nice. There we go. 4 stacks of carved pumpkins. Make some extra torches here. Then I believe we can just do, what is it, that or that? Yeah, there we go. Jack-o'-lantern. Start with 2 stacks of each. You got 2 of jack-o'-lanterns, 2 of carved pumpkins. Because I noticed with the shaders, it was a little bit, ow. Oh yeah, I put berry bushes. I already forgot that. But yeah, it was a little bit dark around the sides. So let's just say, you know, that's the big daddy pumpkin. And these are all the little baby ones. Just a few there. I don't think I needed a lot. And we probably can't tell in the daytime. But yeah, just a few on each side. That'll work. And you'll notice I made quite a bit more than that. Than we needed there, that is. But that's because we're going to share the love. I'm going to share the spooky. We'll put a couple back at spawn in our place just because, once again, we've got tons of these, so why not? I'm actually going to get a couple of the ones that aren't lit up as well, just so it's a little bit different. And then look at this. Spawn isn't spooky at all. Shameful. Also, whoever was supposed to do this side of the dock did a terrible job. So the least we can do is put a few of these around. Happy spooky. Happy spooky. There we go. Who else needs some spooky? Here you go, Throlash. Happy spooky. Is that a phrase? I'm just starting to say it. I don't think that's a real thing. People don't say that. Wow, this looks really nice in here. I don't think I've ever actually walked in. And in case you haven't guessed, my goal is to just have people guessing why there are jack-o'-lanterns and carved pumpkins all over the place. There you go. Happy yeah, just leave it floating up there for no reason. There we go, right there. Gonna be finding these all over the place well past October. There we go. Enjoy. Happy spooky. Just kind of leaving a trail of pumpkins. It almost feels like littering, but it's not. It's just festive. Oh, it looks like we were maybe supposed to sleep. Okay, I'm sorry. Get right to it. No, you're not gonna let me. Get out of here. Spooky, 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 spooky. You're kind of spooky, but you're also mean. Spooky, 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 spooky. Let's see if we can fly by Spooky the island up here. Foxy's island. Ha! Get a couple, quick, while I fall. Ow. Hey, ooh, look at that landing. Right on top of a lantern. Well, that works. I do apologize if this is annoying any of my server mates. Hopefully not. Hey, you guys are spooky. And yes, I completely forgot you existed. There you go. Enjoy. Spooky bathhouse. Is that enough? It's kind of hard to tell, but every once in a while you'll see a little pop of orange. Except for down there. That's a lot of pop of orange. It says Legion was here. Yep, I think we've spread enough holiday cheer, which means one last look over by the pumpkin. Man, my frame rate just went up by like triple. Did I ever look from over here? Like, is it noticeable if we're near the base? That was weird. Yeah, I mean, obviously you can tell what it is. Can't really see the eyes moving, but that's okay. I do want to get one more look at it at night, especially since we added a few more light sources. That'll tell us if we do need a few more. Actually, probably, you know what we need? Some of this area up here was dark, so maybe we just replace 1 or 2 like this with that, just to light it up. Got a few of those replaced. That should make it a bit better at night, which means it gotta wait, looks like right about 5 minutes actually, and then we'll take a look at night. While we're waiting, I will mention I'm planning another video next Friday, and that'll be the next 100 days video that I think everybody will enjoy. It's going to be another somewhat spooky, sort of Halloween in mind type of video, and we'll have a special guest. So I hope everybody will check that out next week Friday. Nighttime has arrived, and that is looking quite nice. It's lit up around the sides now. I thought about adding something in the mouth because it's kind of hard to see, but there wouldn't be light emanating from a mouth, or it shouldn't. Not when it's full of these spooky teeth, so I think that's actually fine. I'm pleased. Think everything's looking good, nice and spooky, and we got a little bit of movement in. Obviously we're thinking of more things, but given the size, I think it would be difficult to fit more in, so lesson learned for next time if you want to do something like this. But either way, I'm happy with how this turned out. I hope you enjoyed as well. I'll remind you once again, we are going to do another video next week Friday that's going to be spooky, so I hope I'll see you there. Until then, I'll say once again, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one, citizen.